Hey, what's up guys? It's Skelly. Today, I just wanted to have a talk about the potential of having a different fnaf character for the next chapter in Dead by Daylight. Now this is different a little bit from what I usually do, but I honestly have been seeing a lot of stuff and I'm really excited to talk about this and really wanted to share some information with you guys. Now, about Springtrap, don't get me wrong, I really do think that he will be the killer, and I think in terms of theme and placement, he's the way to go. But there's so many cool other characters that they give a chance, and even Springtrap himself, there's so much potential with him. They can give him, whether you go the more basic killer with an axe, or, maybe something such as traps like spring locks or a jump scare, maybe a camera mechanic, or maybe even tie in something like the phantom animatronics into jump scares or something like that, or they could leave an effect on you that makes you exposed or oblivious or something. I think there's a lot of potential in that. Point is, there's a lot, but in recent years, Springtrap has been taken out of the spotlight, and different characters have been introduced, such as the Mimic, which, could give some really interesting ideas to the mechanics, whatnot of the game as well. Apart from Springtrap himself, or the mascot though, Freddy, I think the Mimic has some of the best chances, due to how recently he's been introduced into the game, and honestly, I would say it might be a little difficult to say if he was even considered, because who truly knows how long Behavior has been working at this. We've seen for years, many people have been requesting Springtrap, I myself included, but it'd be really nice to see some. I think maybe at the very least you get an alternate skin, but I think there's a lot of potential with the Mimic you could do, and especially with the release of the new Secret of the Mimic game, set for the June 13th date, which is very close to the release date of this killer supposedly. I feel like there's a lot of you could do, but the execution should be a lot difficult. There's the impersonation that the Mimic does, there's hacking type things, there's possession, brainwashing. Behavior wouldn't have a problem choosing what to do, but again, I think the Mimic might be a little too new. It doesn't capture the FNAF feeling well enough yet. I don't think that they stand up to what FNAF is all about yet. That leads us to the second possibility though, in plain Freddy Fazbear. Now I think this is a very boring but easy pick. Freddy's always been the face of the series, always has been, always probably will be. In terms of powers, it'd be kind of hard to land on anything specific or clear there. I really don't think he has enough going for him in terms of new abilities to bring through. And with the addition of the FNAF movie, it's kind of obvious Freddy's just kind of, a good guy, has good intentions, vengeful dead kids and all, but overall has good intentions. He's not like a bad person. Now, the animatronics aren't bad people. In Springtrap's case, he's just a villain. He's a psychopath. He wants to kill people, but in Freddy's case, he's just a kid who's vengeful and who's killing people because he's under the influence of William Afton or whatnot. And a lot of people have suggested the main four just being like a package deal, but I personally don't think that would work very well either, and it would just create a lot of like confusion, and it would be very hard to play against, and really hard to put in the game too. It'd be kind of like having two twins on the map or whatnot. It just wouldn't be very easy, I don't think. I don't think it'd be a good addition, but it would make for a lot of skin possibilities. You could always have infinite skin possibilities. That's one thing, but it would just be unfun to play against personally. I think some other characters that could be considered as well could be things like Vanny, Glitchtrap, Ennard, honestly maybe even some of the Nightmares animatronics, maybe just Nightmare himself. But they all make such a small amount of the FNAF community and overall game series. I don't think any of them would really have the impact someone like Springtrap or even Freddy would have. But honestly at this point, who knows? Maybe Bidybab will be the next killer, and they'll just act as a bunch of victors, and they'll just dogpile all the survivors, and it'll be a grand old time. Who knows? But a lot of these characters, not Bidybab of course, would fit, apart from like Freddy and Springtrap are the only ones iconic enough though. They could fit, but I think Springtrap and Freddy are probably the only ones iconic enough to ever get chosen. Either way, this chapter will be massive for Dead by Daylight, but let me know what you guys think. I really think Springtrap will be our killer, but only time will tell. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want more, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.